I've analyzed the tapes and I've memorized the lines, searching for the shattered glass and all the warning signs. I checked the way I spoke and the way I held your hand, trying to find the sinking hole within the shifting sand. I've walked through every argument and every silent night, wondering if a different word could have kept the pilot light. But the more I dig for failure, the more the truth is clear. The ghost that walked away from us wasn't standing here. I didn't build the walls that you hid behind. I didn't plant the doubts inside your restless mind. I gave you every shred of light I had to give, but I couldn't make a dying love want to live. And I cannot blame myself for the way you let it go. I can't take the burden of a seed you wouldn't sow. I poured my heart like water into a cracked and broken jar. I cannot be the darkness that hid your morning star. It's a heavy kind of freedom, a bitter kind of wealth, to know I did my best. And I cannot blame myself. I used to carry guilt like a stone inside my chest, thinking if I'd stayed awake, I'd have passed the test. But if I was a little more, or changed the way I move, I could have found a frequency that you could finally approve. But you were already packing up before the storm began, running from a promise I'm leaving all the sorries in this empty parking lot. It wasn't me who broke it. It wasn't me who ran. I'm just the one who loved you the only way I can. I cannot blame myself. The sky turned the color of a concrete floor the moment I heard the soft click of the door. Now the hallway is stretched like 1,000 miles long, and the radio's hum is a broken down song. I'm tracing the dust where your suitcase once sat. It's funny how empty can feel quite this fat. A heavy gray blanket that's smothering the light, turning every mid-morning to the middle of night. There's no storm in the distance, no thunder or rain, just a permanent drizzle of slow motion pain. I'm looking for colors, but everything's bled into shades of the things that we never quite said. It's dismal in here, and it's dismal outside. There's nowhere for a hollowed out spirit to hide. The sun is a liar, the stars are just stone, and the air tastes like salt when you're breathing alone. Yeah, the view from this window is faded and small. It's a dismal life, if it's a life at all. I tried to buy flowers to brighten the room, but they died in the vase, just embracing the gloom. Even the kettle has forgotten to sing. It's amazing the sadness a kitchen can bring. I'm wearing your sweater to feel like you're near, but the scent of your perfume is starting to clear. And that's the real tragedy, the slow fading ghost, losing the version of you I loved most. It's dismal in here, and it's dismal outside. There's nowhere for a hollowed out spirit to hide. The sun is a liar, the stars are just stone, and the air tastes like salt when you're breathing alone. It's a life at all. They say keep your chin up and look to the dawn, but the horizon is crooked and the map is all gone. It's not just a season, it's not just a phase, it's a black and white movie for the rest of my days. I'm watching the clock hands struggle to climb, like they're tired of carrying the weight of the time. The breakfast is sitting untouched on the plate, while I'm drowning in low tide and accepting my fate. The walls are all peeling, the spirit is thin. I'm losing the battle before I begin. It's not a sharp dagger, it's a slow, steady leak that leaves me too hollow and far too weak. There's a hole in the ceiling where the glory leaked out and left me with nothing but shadows and doubt. I'm reaching for embers in a fireplace of ash, waiting for a lightning that'll never quite flash. Oh, it's dispiriting, darling, to wake up this way in the ghost of a house, in the wreck of a day, to know that the anchor has snapped from the chain, and I'm drifting through fog in a valley of rain. It's the soul-crushing silence, the shriveling view. It's so dispiriting, living without you. I went to the places where we used to laugh, but the joy has been cut by a jagged-edged half. The echoes are mocking, the benches are cold, like a story that withered before it was told. I try to find meaning in the stars up above, but they're just burning gases, they don't know of love. Every "it'll get better" is a hollow core lie that falls from the mouth like a dead butterfly. Oh, it's dispiriting, darling, to wake up this way in the ghost of a house, in the wreck of a day, to know that the anchor has snapped from the chain. I'm drifting through fog in a valley of rain. It's the soul-crushing silence, the shriveling view. It's so dispiriting, living without you. It's the drain of the color, the sap from the tree, the slow motion fading of the person I'd be if you hadn't left me, if you hadn't gone. How am I supposed to invent a new dawn? So dispiriting. I'm digging through the wreckage of a Friday night, looking for the moment that the wrong felt right. You were standing in the hallway with that careless grin. Now I opened up the door and let the winter in. I thought I saw a savior, I thought I saw a home, but I was just a seed in a field of stone. Now I'm reading our old letters like a crime scene report, realizing every forever was painfully short. I was blindfolded, dancing on a wire, mistaking the smoke for a holy fire. I jumped from the ledge with my eyes shut tight, praying for a wing, but I landed in the night. I wish I knew that your heart was a cage. I wish I'd seen the ending on the very first page. I wish I'd known that you always had an expiration date before I put my soul on a heavy porcelain plate. It's the bitter aftertaste of a sweet hollow lie. I wish I knew how to say goodbye before the high. I'm looking at the shadows you left on the floor, like a map to a place that doesn't exist anymore. You told me I was different, you told me I was gold, but you were just a story that had already been told. I'm tracing the scars where the kindness used to be, wondering how you saw a casualty when you looked at me. The truth is a hammer hitting every single nerve, and I'm crashing in the lane that I didn't see curve. I wish I knew that your heart was a cage. I wish I'd seen the ending on the very first page. I wish I knew that your role always had an expiration date before I put my soul on a heavy porcelain plate. It's the bitter aftertaste of a sweet hollow lie. I wish I knew how to say goodbye. They say ignorance is bliss, but it's a heavy price to pay, to wake up in a life where the colors turn to gray. I traded my armor for a thin silk thread, and now I'm sleeping in the ghost of a bed. I wish I knew. I wish I listened to the wind before the shattering began. Now I'm just a lesson I never wanted to learn. Watching the lesson burn. I wish I knew. I wish I knew how to say goodbye. Checking the calendar, but the date hasn't changed. In this house of memories, nothing's rearranged. The clock on the mantle stopped at 9:30, back when your hand was still folded in mine. I keep the porch light on, though I know you won't call. I'm a prisoner of seasons that refuse to fall. I walk through the grocery store, buying for two, but now I remember there's no us, there's just you. I see a blue coat and I catch my breath, only to find it's a stranger instead. My feet know the path to try to look at the sun and let the past die, but the sun is too bright and the future's too cold when I'm still holding on to a hand I can't hold. I'm drifting away on a tide made of years, washing my face in a river of tears. The world's moving on, finding something new, but I'm stuck in a moment that's painted in blue. Forward is a country I can't seem to find. I'm lost in the pieces you left for behind, just lost in yesterday's kitchen, yesterday's rain. I'm living a life inside of the pain. Don't wake me up, I'd rather stay lost in yesterday. I built a cathedral out of every word you said. I painted gold on all the lies that you fed. I thought the way you looked at me was a promise, not a mask, but I was answering a question you didn't even ask. I saw a future in the flicker of your eyes, while you were just counting down to the last goodbyes. I treated every silence like a holy, quiet place, but it was just the sound of you leaving me no space. I was reading the stars while you were reading the clock. I was the anchor, but you were just the dock. I mistook the sharing for a fever of the soul, when you were just freezing and losing all control. I was mistaken, and the falling is deep. I'm paying for a dream that I wasn't meant to keep. I thought your hand in mine, that we were walking the same line, but I was just a stopover. You'd eventually resign. It's a heavy, hollow lesson, a shattering of you, thinking I was everything when I was just someone to you. I saved the seed for you in every song and every prayer, but I was just talking to the shadows in the air. I mistook your maybe for a shouting certain yes. Now I'm cleaning up the shards of this beautiful mess. I kill the whole dark. Now I'm looking at our photos and the pixels start to blur into the person that I wished you actually were. A shattering of you, thinking I was everything, when I was just someone to you. It's not the breakup that's killing me tonight. It's the realization that I wasn't even right. I was living in the rush, I was chasing after ghosts, and I am the one who's drowning the furthest from the coast. I was wrong, I was so terribly wrong. I was the singer, but you never knew the song. Just a misread chapter, just a faded line. I thought you were destiny, but you were just time. I'm replaying the tapes of the fight we had last night, trying to find a frequency where we were actually right. You said I'm fine, but your shoulders were a wall. And I said leave when I didn't want you to go at all. We're speaking the same language, but different dialects, counting the scars and the mountainside effects. I reached for your hand, but you thought I was pushing away. And now we're both starving for the things we couldn't say. It's a labyrinth of static, a signal lost in the air. I'm shouting for help, but you think I don't care. We're two radio stations playing different songs, building a monument out of our perceived wrongs. Oh, it's the misunderstandings that are tearing us apart, the translation errors of a weary breaking heart. I meant I love you, but it came out like a stone. And now we're sitting side by side, yet completely alone. It's the gap between the words and the things we really feel. A bridge made of mist that we thought was made of steel. I saw you cry and I thought it was anger and pride, so I locked all my vulnerability was made of steel. If I could unspeak the pride, if I could unhear the fear, I'd tell you that the only truth is that I need you here. But we're caught in the grammar of a long-distance war. Forgot what it was we were even fighting You heard a no, I meant to please. Now we're both brought down to our shaking knees. Just a misunderstanding, just a slip of the tongue. The most tragic song that we've ever sung. The most tragic song that we've ever sung. I'm staring at the ink on a letter I won't send, replaying the moment I let the fever break the friend. I had the gold right in my palms, but I traded it for glass. Now I'm standing on the tracks, just watching mercy pass. The silence in the kitchen is a jury and a judge. I'm trying to move forward, but the floorboards never budge. I see the if onlys like graffiti on the wall, and I'm the only one who's left to catch the curtain call. I'm a master of the rear view, a king of looking back, counting every splinter in the shattered railroad track. I'd give my every tomorrow for a single yesterday, just to bite the bitter words I let my ego say. Oh, the regret is a river that only flows one way, and I'm drowning in the things that I failed to say. It's a debt I can't settle, a ghost I can't outrun, the cold heavy shadow of the damage I've done. I'm holding the matches while I'm crying for the rain, living in the echo of my own self-inflicted pain. I pass your street at midnight just to see if there's a light, but I'm a stranger to the safety of your window in the night. You gave me your best, and I gave you my worst. Now I'm dying of a thirst in the well that I cursed. Every song on the radio feels like a personal attack, reminding me of everything I'm never getting back. It's the weight of the sorry that arrived a year too late. inflicted pain. If I could unring the bell, if I could unbreak the heart, I wouldn't let the pride tear the masterpiece apart. But the clock is a tyrant, and the pages have been turned, and I'm just the lonely ash of the bridges that I so sorry, but the words are just dust in an empty room. A garden of maybe that'll never quite bloom. Regret, it's all I have left to keep. I'm tracing the salt stains on the sleeve of my shirt, trying to wash away the memory of the dirt. You said it was for the best, you said I'd understand, but you left a desert where I'd built a lamp. Now the faucet is dripping and the walls are closing in, and I'm wearing the sorrow like a second skin. I've tried to blink them back, I've tried to look away, but the clouds are always heavy and the sky is always gray. There's a flood in the hallway and a storm in the room, and I'm just a witness to my own quiet doom. These are the tears that I cried for a ghost, the ones for the person that I needed the most. They're falling like rain on a fire that's died, carrying the secrets that I kept deep inside. Every drop is a lie, every drop is a stay, just a river of heartaches washing the S away. Yeah, these are my tears. I saw your reflection in a puddle on the street, but it shattered into pieces at the movement of my feet. I wonder if you're crying, if your eyes are stinging too, or if you found a sunlight that is fresh and bright and new. I'm drowning in the quiet, I'm sinking in the wet, caught in the current of a life I can't forget. The hurt on my cheeks and the cold in my soul, the only part of loving you that I can still control. I'll cry till I'm empty, I'll cry till I'm dry. until there's nothing left of the you and the I. These are the tears that I cry for a ghost, the ones for the person I needed the most. They're falling like rain on a fire that's died, carrying the secrets that I kept deep inside. Every drop is a why, every drop is a stay, just a river of heartaches washing me us away. Yeah, these are my tears, just let them fall until the world goes blurred. No more talking, not another word, just the sound of the water, just the tears, always the tears. The neighbors mowing grass like it's a normal Tuesday afternoon. The radio is humming some forgotten upbeat tune, but my watch stopped ticking at the moment that you left, and the air in my lungs feels like a hollow, heavy theft. I see the mailman coming, I see the traffic on the street, but I'm frozen in the hallway with the world beneath my feet. The coffee's getting cold, the steam is standing still, like the gravity has vanished, or I've lost the strength of will. The dust is hanging frozen in a single beam of light, and I'm stuck in the morning of a never-ending night. The days stop moving when you walked out that door. The seconds don't matter, they don't count anymore. I'm trapped in the silence of the goodbye you said, with a calendar of ghosts and a heart made of lead. The sun is stuck mid-sky, refusing to try. My whole world ended, and the day just stopped. And the day just stopped. I'm staring at the shadow that you left upon the floor. I don't know how to be the man I was the breath before. The groceries are waiting, the sink is starting to fill, but the hands on the kitchen clock are perfectly still. How can the world keep spinning? How can the seasons change when every brick and window in this house feels cold and strange? Is there a button? Is there a key to start up the engine of the you and the me? Or am I just a statue in a park of regret, waiting for a sunset that hasn't happened yet? The days stopped moving when you walked out that door. The seconds don't matter, they don't count anymore. I'm trapped in the silence of the goodbye you said, with a calendar of ghosts and a heart made of lead. The sun is stuck mid-sky, refusing to drop. My whole world ended, and the day just stopped. Still 10:15, the same coffee cup, stop. I'm back at the corner of 2nd and Vine, where the neon sign flickers like a warning sign. The air is still biting, the street is still loud, but I'm looking for one face in a ghost of a crowd. You were leaning against that chipped brick wall, waiting for a summer that was destined to fall. I remember the smoke and the smell of the rain. Before I knew your name was a synonym for pain. If I could go back to that first hello, knowing everything I'm forced to know, would I walk away or would I run to the fire, trading my soul for a moment of desire? Oh, the night we met was a beautiful lie. A star falling down from a perfectly dark sky. It was the start of the end, the fever and the chill, the moment the world decided to stand still. I'd give anything to go back to that grace before I learned how it felt to be erased. You ordered a drink and you laughed at my shoes. I didn't know then I had everything to lose. We talked about movies and the places we'd go, building a map that we'd eventually burn slow. Now I walk this pavement and the concrete feels bruised by the weight of a love that was badly misused. The streetlights are humming that same hollow tune that we danced to beneath the predatory moon. Oh, the night we met was a beautiful lie. Star falling down from a perfectly dark sky. It was the start of the end, the fever and the chill, the moment the world decided to stand still. I'd give anything to go back to that grace before I learned how it felt to be erased. I'm a haunted house built on that very spot, trying to love the person that you are not. I keep replaying the opening scene, trying to find where the poison got in between. Just a stranger in a jacket, just a spark in a dark room. I wish I'd stayed home, I wish I'd never known. But God, the way you looked the night we met. Standing in the garden where the roses used to bloom, but the colors bled away into a dusty, quiet room. The swings are staying still and the paint is peeling back, like a photograph of us that's starting to fade to black. I'm calling out your name, but the wind just swallows the sound. There's nothing left but cracked earth and the hollow, broken ground. I used to see a kingdom, I used to see a home. Now I'm just a scavenger wandering alone. I'm looking for a sign of life, a reason to believe, but there's nothing in the pockets of the heart upon my sleeve. Welcome to the wasteland, the ruins of a dream, where the silence is a mountain and the static is a scream. I'm building monuments out of the wreckage that you left, living in the hollow of a beautiful, cruel theft. The sky is made of ashes and the water's turned to sand. I'm a king of nothing in this wasteland. I found a rusted locket in the corner of the yard. It's a heavy piece of metal and it hits me twice as hard to remember how we whispered when the world was green and gold, before the fire flickered out and the nights grew gray and cold. How do you survive when the oxygen is gone, when the after is a desert and you're still holding on? They say that things can grow again, they say the rain will fall, but they haven't seen the shadows on my crumbling brick wall. I'm a survivor of a war that neither of us won, just a shadow of a shadow staring at a dying sun. Welcome to the wasteland, the ruins of a dream, where the silence is a mountain and the static is a scream. I'm building monuments out of the wreckage that you left, living in the hollow of a beautiful, cruel theft. The sky is made of ashes and the water's turned to sand. I'm a king of nothing in this wasteland. Just minds of lazy, just miles of nowhere to hide, nowhere to go. In the wasteland, I'm sitting on the edge of the bed we used to share, tracing shapes into the space because you isn't there. I wonder if you're sleeping or if you're staring at the ceiling too. I'm wondering if your sky is still that specific shade of blue. I play the tape in reverse back to the very start, before the cracks began to show across the porcelain heart. I'm hunting for the fork in the road where we went wrong, searching for the missing note in our unfinished song. Was it a word I didn't say? Was it a look I didn't catch? Was the fire destined to die from the very first match? I'm building a kingdom out of ghosts and memories, lost in a forest of 1,000 might have been. So what if I'd stayed? What if you turned around? What if we hadn't let our pride burn it to the ground? Would we be dancing in the kitchen to the sound of the rain? Or would we just be experts and masking the pain? It's the question that haunts me, the poison in the cup, the what if that keeps me from ever giving up. I saw a car that looked like yours at the light on 5th and Main, and for a second my heart forgot the grammar of the pain. I almost called your name, I almost reached for the door, but then the light turned green and you weren't there anymore. Maybe in a parallel life we're waking up at 10, fixing all the broken parts and falling in again. But here in the static, the reality is cold. And what if there's a story that's getting painfully old? What if I'd stayed? What if you turned around? What if we hadn't let our pride burn it to the ground? Would we be dancing in the kitchen to the sound of the rain? Or would we just be experts and masking the pain? It's the question that haunts me, the poison in the cup. What if that keeps me from ever giving up? They say hindsight is 20/20, a perfect crystal view, but all I see are blurry scenes of me losing you. I'm a prisoner of the maybe, a hostage of the past, wondering which one of our promises was meant to be the last. What if we were happy? What if we were right? I'll be asking the darkness for the rest of my life. Just a what if in the dark, just a flicker, then a spark. I'm watching the clock hands drag across the wall, waiting for a shadow, waiting for a call. They say the storm passes, they say the clouds part, but they don't see the winter frozen in my heart. I've done my time in the wreckage and the rain, so why am I still holding the heavy end of the chain? I've checked every window, I've locked every door, I've cried all the tears I can find anymore. The world is moving on, finding someone to hold, while I'm still out here shivering in the cold. Why do I have to wait for the healing to begin? How long does it take to let the new light in? I'm standing in the lobby of a life I used to know, begging for a reason to finally let go. If the love is truly over, if the fire's gone gray, why do I have to wait for the pain to go away? Is there a line I have to stand in for a little peace? A contract I can sign to get a heart's release? I see you in the grocery store, looking so alright, like you didn't leave me dying in the middle of the night. You found your after, you found you're okay, while I'm stuck in the before, just counting down the days. Is it a month? Is it a year before the ghost of your voice finally disappears? I'm tired of the patience, I'm tired of the soon. I'm just a lonely wolf howling at a hollow moon. Why do I have to wait for the healing to begin? How long does it take to let the new light in? I'm standing in the lobby of a life I used to know, begging for a reason to finally let go. If the love is truly over, if the fire's gone gray, why'd I have to wait for the pain to go away? Still waiting for the ache to dull, still waiting for the heart to feel full. Just give me the signal, give me the gate, tell me, why do I have to wait? How much longer? Why do I have to I followed the signs that I thought led to home, but the asphalt grew cold and the fields turned to stone. I was chasing your ghost through the fog and the rain, mapping out love on a road map. promises that we both said. I'm 100 miles deep in nowhere at all, waiting for an exit that'll catch my fall. I'm on the wrong highway, headed the wrong way, running from a sunrise that'll only bring a gray day. I thought this road was paved with gold in your heart, but it's just a dead end where we fall apart. I can't turn around, and I can't find the line. I'm lost on a long path that used to be mine. I see the headlights of strangers passing me by, reflecting the tears that I'm too tired to cry. Every billboard I see has a face just like yours, reminding me of all of our closed, locked doors. I put my faith in a compass that was broken from the start. Now I'm just a drifter with a hitchhiker's heart. There's no rest stop for a soul this hollow, no trail